Welcome to Season 7 of the Charity Matters podcast. I'm Heidi Johnson, nonprofit founder, lifelong helper, and your host. I've been interviewing modern-day heroes for over a decade with my blog, and I'm so excited to share these inspiring conversations with our podcast. Join me as we learn the challenges and stories of innovators, entrepreneurs, and modern-day heroes who set out to solve the problems of humanity. Did you know that the CDC reported last year that there was a 51% increase in suicide attempts among teenage girls? Today's guest is no stranger to that fact. Claudia Copley is the founder of 4Girls, a nonprofit that's mission is to give girls confidence and self-esteem and to go out and rule the world. And I'm so excited to share her amazing journey and our inspirational conversation about the amazing work she's doing to make a difference in our world. We are so excited today to have our guest, Claudia Copley, joining us of the nonprofit 4Girls. Welcome, Claudia.
Thanks so much, Heidi. It's great to be with you.
We're so excited. First of all, I love anyone that does things for girls, even though I'm a boy mom. I'm one of 3 girls, and I love what you were doing. It's so aligned with what I do. So I'm really excited to share this with everybody. But why don't we just jump in, and why don't you just tell us right away what 4Girls, and 4, like the number 4, 4Girls does?
Yeah, I love that you said that number 4. It's an acronym, and we played with the number 4. It stands for Getting Inspired for Real Life Success. And our mission is to empower and inspire middle school girls so that they identify as confident, authentic, and resilient, preparing them for real life success.
And boy, do these girls need it more than ever. Yeah. More than ever. Yeah. I saw the, not to start on a downer note, but I saw the suicide statistics for teenagers, because I work with a lot of teenagers, and the girls' numbers are absolutely you can't even get your head around it. And it breaks my heart that what's happening to our girls. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, it breaks my heart too. And it seemed like we were doing some positive, like those numbers were changing, and then COVID came.
Right.
And then it just kind of wiped everything out, and we're starting back, Oh
my gosh.
Go
ahead.
No, and that's just across the board everywhere. And by the way, I'm a mother of a son, so I love boys as well. Just so you know.
No, but I mean, everyone, I mean, obviously I work with middle school and high school and college kids for the nonprofit that I run. And I see these kids, in the 10 years I've been doing this work, I've seen kids change. I've seen the change. I've seen the change before COVID, after COVID. I've seen their lack of connection and their lack of confidence. And I've seen all these things. Not only, thankfully, my kids were, we were in college when COVID hit. So we kind of missed some of that. A lot of, they were cooked, so to speak, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But the kids I work with, I've seen this, and I'm so grateful to learn about what you're doing to help these girls. But talk to me before we talk about the girls about, you don't just wake up and start a nonprofit. There's a lot of things that happen along the journey. And I'm always fascinated when people, like, what your childhood was like or growing up. Did you have a role model or someone in your family that modeled community or service, or was it just always in you? I'd love to hear kind of a little bit of like your childhood and like your influences in that.
Yeah, that's a great leadoff question. Well, I did not learn philanthropy or giving back in my household. I grew up, my household was very dysfunctional, and there was a lot of trauma. And so it was more about, let's just survive, right? Let alone do any type of philanthropic work. And so, but I think, and I love that you said this, was it just in you? There was a piece of me that's innate. And I think all of us have, things that we know to our core what is true. That was always in me. I think one of my core values is generosity. And and connection. I love meeting new individuals. I love connecting. And so I think that was for me, it was a drive from, like, I can remember in high school, but that was something that was big for me.
I love that. And I also love that because I think people either think that you're taught this behavior, that it doesn't just come from within. People look at other people that are philanthropic and think, I want to be like that. I want what she's having, like Harry Met Sally. I want what she's having. Like, she looks really happy. She looks joyful. I want that. But they just don't know how to start. They don't understand. But I love that you're saying, like, this was just in me, like, I knew this was there, and that it somehow became nurtured. But typically, there's, like, a moment, and I did do my homework, so I know a little bit about your moment, and I think we might have been at the same one, in Long Beach, maybe. I think we might have been at the same one, if it was one that Oprah was at, I don't know, because I was at that one. But typically, with the hundreds of people that I've interviewed, they can tell you their aha moment, speaking of Oprah. They know there's a moment when they're like, "You know what? Something happened to me, to someone I care about, to someone I love, and you know what? I'm not gonna sit around anymore. This is my time, and I'm gonna do something." Whatever that is, whether it means just going to volunteer or whatever. And then the crazy 1.6 million of us that actually start nonprofits,
Is
and I'm
that the
not saying
number
yeah, 1.6
of
million of
us
us. Yeah,
crazy?
yeah, us crazies. We are a unique and special group who actually gets so fired up that we don't go and do it. So tell us about, I'm assuming you have a moment because most people I've talked to do. Tell us about the moment for you and what was happening in your life when that moment hit that made that moment so powerful.
Yeah, everybody has a moment, right? I was at the women's conference that you were at
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
and I had been to four, you know,
right.
but
She
the
only had
one
a
that,
couple because
yeah, she had a
Maria
couple, but
Shriver was the governor's wife of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife, and she took this governor's sleepy luncheon and turned it into Architects of Change, which she still uses in her podcast and her blog. And she invited her girlfriends, a la Oprah, and some other really amazing women to speak and transform that governor's event. And I went, and I was just starting a nonprofit, so it was like 2003, I think.
yeah,
And so I was in this
yeah,
room as well, but go ahead. Tell your story. Forgive me for
yeah.
interrupting.
That's okay. I just had a presentation at the school, and I show my table badge. It was 2004. So
Okay.
I was at the conference, and 100,000 people there. The Long Beach Convention Center, it's packed, sold out, right?
Yeah.
And
Huge.
all these inspiring speakers, all highly educated, barely educated, very wealthy, just getting by. But the central theme that Maria Shriver would say, like, what are you going to do for your community? How are you going to be an architect of change?
Yeah.
Everybody has skills, and I was so inspired. I was so empowered. I left there driving home going, yeah, what am I going to do? I can be an architect of change. And then I have skills. And then all of a sudden this voice crept into my head. And it was, and we all have those, judgy narratives
Right.
that said, what are you going to do? Really? You have skills? Who's going to want to be part of anything you do? And I, stopped me in my tracks, and I followed the theme, the thread. And I thought, yeah, for me, it was middle school, that tough time where I just didn't know what to do with myself,
Right.
with my changing body, with my curly hair getting even curlier. And I just felt lost, not just because of the trauma and dysfunction in my house, but I just felt so alone. Like,
Right.
I'm the only one experiencing all this. And then I came back to, driving home from the conference, and I thought, why not have a conference similar to what Maria Shriver has done brilliantly, but instead of empowering and inspiring adult women and men, because some men are present there,
Right.
here we're going to focus just on empowering and inspiring middle school girls, just that target, because that's the target to me that's the hardest transition
Right.
And I polled some of my friends. I did my informal research. I polled all of my friends and everybody, whether you had two parents in the household, no parents in the household,
Right.
very wealthy, not wealthy at all, educated, not educated. Everybody across the board said middle school was the hardest time of their life. And
100%.
yeah, and so I thought, okay, there's something there. There's something there. And so I then just let go of my limited beliefs and started thinking, okay, I'm going to create a community. Like, I have a best friend. My best friend has great skills. She could be the vice president. I had to read Nonprofits for Dummies because I come from at that time I was coming from the corporate world. I had just gotten
Okay, I've heard that there's that book, but no, I don't know anyone who's ever read it. So you're the first one. Because when I started, there wasn't even Nonprofits for Dummies didn't exist in 2002. So by 2004 or 5, they must have had the book.
They had the book, and it was great. Coming from the corporate world is different than
100%.
different than the nonprofit. Yeah.
Same.
And and so I then at least had people that I could tap in my community, like,
Right.
hey, hi, I have this idea. I was really enrolling them. Like, would you be interested? Thankfully, in the community, we had an attorney, who I know,
Right.
and she said, okay. And what happened was that people that are passionate about empowering and inspiring youth, specifically middle school girls, were on board. And some said, no, thank you, which is fine.
Right.
If you don't have a passion, that's
there's
better.
Your connection.
We need
right?
the passionate.
There's your
Absolutely.
gift for connection happening right there. And your two gifts that you knew were in you from the beginning about giving back, generosity, and connecting. And that's really what our role is in such a big, when people talk about nonprofit. First of all, no one who's founded a nonprofit that I've ever met knew what they were doing. Not one of them said, oh yeah. I've even interviewed CEOs of huge companies that started nonprofits because they thought it was a good idea because something else happened to them. And they're like, holy guacamole, being a CEO is easy. It's a totally different model. Like it's just, no one knows what they're doing, but they all know that if they can just help one person then that's enough.
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
Everyone has that. And we all think we're going to help one person and then we become our own worst enemies. And it's 100 and then it's 1,000, then it's 10,000. So talk to me, speaking about starting a business, the challenges, because you're an entrepreneur, you have this business background, and you read a book, and you lasso your friends, and you build community, which is what nonprofit is. It's building community and connection 100%, and getting people empowered and excited. You're the igniter. You're going around and lighting everyone's, like, fueling them up because they want what you're having because you're so excited about this. But then there's those challenges when it comes to, like, I don't know, money, fundraising, just those crazy little things that get in the way every now and again. So talk to me about the challenges in the early days as you're starting 4Girls.
Yeah. When, you don't know, right? I mean, just the boardroom was my kitchen table, and that still sometimes is our boardroom. But, I think the biggest challenges were at that time, and still, are like visibility and outreach.
Right.
Here, we are a 100% volunteer organization. What I get paid in, I could not buy a loaf of bread, but I could light up a room that will last for a long time because, and that's, we just are a 100% volunteer organization. That either is a really good thing or a really bad thing. It's that double-edged sword.
But we get paid in different ways. And
without a doubt.
Right. And I'm not saying, none of us get into this for the money. Let's be, abundantly clear about that. No one I know has ever gotten into it for the money. But more than that, there's something about it that fuels us in a way that makes us keep going. We get paid in these paydays when you know you have the tiny cog, even the tiniest cog in someone's wheel of life, and you've impacted their life. You want more. It's the best feeling.
Absolutely.
It's the best feeling ever. So speaking of fuel, we all have laundry. We all have lives. We all have bills. We all have all these things that stress
Yeah,
us out.
absolutely.
Talk to me about what fuels you when it's tough, like when it's hard.
Right. So a few things, but like first the community, the connection to some really great, amazing humans,
Right.
that come in, like really talented, hardworking women that I'm surrounded by. It's beautiful to see what we create. And then two, at the end of the 2-day workshop, we invite girls to come up to the stage and to share their empowering word. And we have words all over the room, so if they can pick one if they are not
Right.
sure. But some of the girls that come up are thinking like, I would never come up and speak in front of a room full. That's how they feel on Saturday morning. By
Right.
Sunday, there's a line to come up and share their
Oh,
empowering word. And we ask them to do that to give them a sense of like a new identity, like,
right.
or have something for them, like they can have this word that they can grow into or check out and see how it feels. And there's been many girls throughout the 13 years, but there was one in particular. I couldn't tell you her name, but I could see her face still. And what she said was, my word is valuable. Because before this workshop, before today, I didn't realize how valuable I was.
Okay,
And
making me
now
cry.
I know that I'm valuable. Yeah, it gets me every time,
You're
Heidi. That's
making me
why when I'm
cry.
so tired, yeah, a middle
Making me cry.
schooler.
Right. No,
Yeah.
because I think
So when I'm
women,
tired, that's who I go back to.
and
That's
and
why.
and I think all of us, I mean, question and struggle with our values sometimes. There are moments that we think, "Can I do this? Am I," we go back to that for some crazy thing, and girls obviously more, I think more so. Um, but to know that and to give them that gift at that age, that is fuel for their lives, and then it's fuel for you to continue on. So I know measuring success, and I know, for us, we do leadership, middle school kids teaching leadership and measuring leadership and the impact of our organization is really hard because how do you measure? It's immeasurable when a girl says, "I my word is valuable." There's no measurement. There's no
Right.
return on
You can't put
investment
that on. You can't put that on a grant
on a
page, right?
grant,
I mean,
right?
it's not a measurable result.
There's not a measurable result. But talk to me because I have such a love-hate relationship with the word impact. Because it's great how many people we serve, and it's great all the hours we volunteer, and it's great all the money we raise, and la 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 la. But impact is obviously my word is valuable. That is impact. What else would you say to someone who doesn't know anything about your organization, people listening, about what you think, so people want to bet on a winning horse. They want to bet on something that means something to them. So what does your impact mean to you? I mean, obviously you just shared a really great impact story. That was
Right. Well, I have more,
I'm
I mean,
sure.
we can, the impact, yeah. And I won't give you like how many girls we have served or how many scholarships, or what leadership programs we
Right.
have. Because, you can look that up on our website.
Right.
But, you can't put on a grant paper or a proposal, a parent coming up to you and saying, oh my gosh, what did you do to my child? They are a whole different person. They believe in
Right.
themselves. They have more confidence. They're engaging with us. Like, thank you. What a mother will tell me with tears in
Oh,
her eyes. Thank you. That's one. And then the second, which I'm seeing it right before my eyes. Our program, they start at 6th grade and
right.
then they can be part of the program in high school, but that's a leadership position, which is a little bit harder to get into our program, but it's still absolutely doable.
Right.
So we now have a few, not just one, but a few girls that have gone through the program when they were in 6th grade, 7th and 8th, and then all through high school as mentors. And now they're in their first years of college, and they're sitting with us at the board table. They're board members,
Oh, that's great.
or they are starting to, they are being part of the workshop team, which helps us to create the agenda, the curriculum, stay relevant to what the girls need. They're with us in the trenches, creating this workshop and forming it to the next generation.
Right.
That impact is, if someone told me, the seed that was being planted is now going to be, harvested and, feeding more humans, I couldn't have believed you,
But it's the ripple effect. And I think, our organization, ours is similar. We do kind of 12, 15 workshops during the year, like a day of camp, and then we have kind of camps, a leadership camp. And our organization's all peer to peer. So we'll serve 4,000 kids this year. But I always say this, like our college kids teach our high school kids, and our high school kids teach our middle school kids. And because they don't want to hear from you and I. And but when you tell a 5-year-old, or you tie a 5-year-old shoe, you're telling a 5-year-old that they can't tie their own shoe. You don't realize it. You think you're helping them, but you do. You basically make them powerless. When you tell a 6th grader, when an 8th grader or a 9th grader tells a 6th grader that they're amazing, it changes their world. And when a 6th grader looks at the 9th grader and says, "You're the coolest person ever. I can't even," it's a win-win. And so I have the privilege that you do as well to see that magic, that two-way connection happen that feeds both of their souls, both of their confidence, and then empowers them to want to help more people, because then they want
Absolutely.
more, right? And there's no
Absolutely.
impact to measure that.
Yeah,
And
you cannot.
right. And I understand why teachers teach, because when you get to see it long enough, the generations come through. I've been running Task for 10 years. I see my kids that were in 6th grade now in college and out of college. You see that transformation, and it's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you could dream any dream for girls, because entrepreneurs are also dreamers a little bit. We start out with some sort of plan, and then our plan just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we can't stop ourselves. It's just who we are. What's the
Yeah.
big dream? What's the big dream?
Oh my gosh, I have so many, Heidi, so many.
Well, pick one, two, doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll pick. I go to visibility and outreach. I think because we still are like considered a grassroots organization, we're
Right.
known locally. I'd love that broader reach. We have keynote speakers that come to our event that speak, and I like to say sometimes we help launch those careers. There was Ashley
Right.
Graham who came to she's a model and a body positivity activist. And she was the first person of her size to be on Sports Illustrated magazine.
Oh, wow.
Was
I
our
know who that
guest.
is, yeah.
She
Wow.
was our keynote speaker before that happened. So,
Oh.
that helps to get us visibility, right? And then with visibility, so like I'm waiting for Misty Copeland, the first
Yeah.
African-American ballerina.
Right.
I'm waiting for her to come, especially since she was raised in San Pedro, next
Oh,
town
okay.
over.
Misty, if you're listening.
But we also, with nonprofit organizations, you need time, talent, and treasure. If you have time, come and if you have talent, you connect it to that.
Right.
Grant writers, marketing specialists, fund developers, come. And I get that if they're in the nonprofit world, the last thing they want to do is volunteer with a nonprofit.
Right.
But that would be my biggest wish. Like this,
I have a resource for you when we get off this call. I have something for you.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And so, that's what I'd love to keep growing this, because it's when you have a girl say, "I'm valuable. I know I'm valuable." Now she knows something that she didn't know before, and no one can take that away from her. No one
ever.
Yeah, and it's better to learn that now as a kid than to wait as an adult to do that.
100%.
The trajectory changes.
Yeah, the trajectory changes a lot. So talk to me about what life lessons you've kind of learned since you've been doing this. I mean, it's been 13 years. You've seen a
Yeah.
lot. You've learned a lot. 13 years ago, you're probably a different person. Maybe you're the same, but I think there's a
Mhm.
lot of life lessons that because we have this privileged view of humanity that other people don't always have. I think I'm not saying we're wiser, but I think we get paid in that kind of wisdom. And those are the gifts, those are our paydays. And so we get to see the best in people. Sometimes we see some not great things too,
Mhm.
but we really are in a privileged position to see the best of people sometimes that other people don't get to see. So what lessons have you learned from your vantage point?
Um, I've learned that we are more common than we are different. That's for sure.
Amen.
I've learned that most of us really want to be seen, heard, and validated,
Mhm.
and that most of us really want to connect with other people.
Yep.
That's what, and you're right, our payday is having a different view.
Hmm.
And and I like that view. And I really enjoy making those connections and working with individuals that, you know, and it doesn't matter. Perspectives are all different, and that's what's enriching as well. That's another lesson. I get to learn from all these amazing humans.
Right.
I'm taught, and not just the adult women, but the young
The
kids as
kids,
well.
right, right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're
Mhm.
all here, we're on this planet to serve one another. That's why we're here. And we're here to learn. And we're here to learn.
Yeah,
We're here for a short time.
yeah,
And if we're not learning, what are we doing? If we're not learning and helping each other, like what the heck are we doing? Like that's
yeah.
really why we're here. Those are the two reasons, in my opinion, to learn and serve. Like that's
Yeah.
right.
I would add there, for me, the journey has also provided me with a strong sense of my purpose. Like I love empowering individuals so much so,
Right.
like my degree is in international business, but with this work, I'm trained and accredited with as a coach. So I'm an empowerment coach.
Awesome.
I enjoy it. Like that fulfills me so much.
If we-
So it
You're
keeps fueling me.
You're right, and you're changing people's lives. I mean, there's just something super addictive about changing people's lives. It's kinda bad. My husband's like, "Had you been like a shopaholic or anything, like, it would just been easier. Like, this is like a crazy it's not a hobby, it's my life, like my work, my job,
Yeah,
everything. This is not like
yeah,
a passing
yeah,
phase. This is who I am."
right,
But and who you
yeah.
are and who everyone that I get to talk to in
Mhm.
Charity Matters is. But it is addictive because there's such a great reward in knowing you helped change a life. Like, right?
Yeah,
It's just the best.
yeah. I agree. And to be empowered, like I had to change my life. I had to let go of those limited beliefs in order for
Right,
4 girls to be born and to happen. Because
right.
if I would have stayed with those limited beliefs and my self-sabotaging behavior, like, oh, I know I can't do it. I'm too afraid. Uh, this would never have happened, you
Right,
know?
right.
And so I love like helping individuals, like letting go of those beliefs. And we all have them. I don't care if you're just
Right,
starting a nonprofit or if you're the CEO of whatever corporation.
right.
We all have them.
We
And
do
when
all
we can
have
get
them.
rid of them, yeah, when we can move them aside, beautiful, magical things happen.
And do you think you're happier now? Do you think this journey has made you a more joyful, happier person? Do you think you're in a better think you're where you're supposed to be?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want anybody listening that they think that you and I don't get sad or get mad or get angry.
Right. No, we're
No,
human.
it
We're
happens.
human.
Yeah. But I think what we do is we're able to like go, oh, wow, where'd that come from? And examine it, explore, and move move on. And yeah, I'm definitely more purposeful, more mindful, more aware. Everybody gets to participate on this earth while we're here at this moment. You know,
And that's all we
let's
got.
give each other room. Let's give each other room to create and be who we want to be, as
Right.
long as we're not hurting ourselves or others.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So I know you have your big event coming up, but there are people listening that are like, I have daughters. I have a skill. I want to volunteer. I want to donate. I want to go to this. Tell me where I get involved. I need so and so to know and so to know, or my niece or my neighbor or whoever. So tell us how we can support you, volunteer, get involved, all that good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of our volunteer links are on our website, the number 4, and then girls, GIRLS.org. It's online. You can go online. You want to donate. You don't have time or talent, but you have treasure, you can donate. Everything that we generate goes back to the program. And we have several programs, but our first main marquee signature event is our 2-day empowerment workshop. And it's on March 23rd and 24th. And if you're a middle school, even if you're listening to this in New York and you can catch a flight, you are welcome to attend. You just need to register through our website. And it's free. We do not charge anybody to attend the program. Everything that we provide, the activities, lessons, journals, swag bags, everything that we require for the workshop, we provide free of charge. We also know that there's kids that have food insecurity. We provide a light breakfast on Saturday because the event starts at 9:00, and then we do feed all the participants, including volunteers and presenters, lunch as well, and snacks. So, and it's just a weekend to come and learn for middle schoolers, come and learn more about yourself. Learn, try something else in a brave space with other girls your age. This is a perfect opportunity. If you've never done something, give it a try. We have discussions, that can be topics of healthy bodies. What's happening to our body?
Right.
Like I didn't get that talk as a kid. And we have it all by a doctor who, she is a pediatrician, and she presents it in a really fun way. We have discussions on nutrition. We have Nia, which is a form of dance, martial arts, yoga to promote exercise. It doesn't matter how you move, as long as you move. We have vision journaling, create your own journal with empowering words and images of your choice. And then with lessons about what to write in your journal, like how to start thinking about your dreams and why it's important to write them down. So we have keynote speakers. We have all different types of activities. Sometimes we're standing up, sometimes we're sitting down, sometimes we're meeting new people. We're doing all sorts of things. So if you're in middle school, come join us. If you're in high school and would like some leadership opportunity or community service hours, which look great on a college application or work resume, go to our website and apply. For the junior mentors, that's what our high schoolers are called. You're helping to facilitate conversation and dialogue and participation with the middle schoolers. They want to know how you survived middle school. So we want you there as part of our team.
And is your event in Orange? Is it in Long Beach? Are you guys in Long Beach? Or
it's in Long Beach. We're at Long Beach City College at the Liberal Arts Campus. Mm-hmm. It's all the information's on our website. Yeah,
that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am so grateful for you, Claudia. I love what you are doing. I love what you're doing for hundreds, thousands of girls, so many girls in the past 13 years, and the ripple effect of that work. Because women, at the end of the day, sorry guys, we rule the world. We really do. And I'm sorry, but we just do. And it just, when you have a joyful, confident, happy woman, girl in your life, everyone else's life is better. They're better partners, they're better employees, they're better mothers, they're better everything. And our society
they're better
is better.
Community leaders.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nonprofit founders. Everything starts from that. So thank you for the gift of investing in our girls and changing their lives. It is truly a blessing that you are giving the world. And I'm so grateful that you shared it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heidi. Truly, it's been a pleasure to get to know you. And thank you for what you're doing and helping to support nonprofits of all kinds and just connecting us all together. Thank you.
Well, you're the real heroes of the world. And I hope everyone else starts to realize it, because I sure do. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Charity Matters podcast. I so enjoyed talking to our guest, Claudia, about what it takes to start a business that truly changes people's lives. I think her comment about people being more alike than different was beyond inspiring and true. To learn more about modern-day heroes and entrepreneurs, or if you'd like to reach out to us, visit us at charity-matters.com or connect with us on Instagram at Charity Matters. If you enjoyed our conversation, we would love it if you shared it with your family and friends. And please don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. But more than that, thank you for caring, for believing in goodness, and for being a part of our positive movement. You are exactly what the world needs more of. Remember that together, we can make a difference. One small act of kindness at a time. Charity matters. See you next time.